Why is there a Bruce Lee statue in Bosnia? Well, it's interesting. I remember hearing all about Bosnia in the early to mid 90s. It was all over the news cycle at the time because of the war. And it's actually kind of directly related to why there's a Bruce Lee statue there now. In this video, I'll give you a brief overview of the war in Bosnia so you could better understand and appreciate the importance of this Bruce Lee statue there. Oh, by the way, make sure to stay until the end of this video because I'll give you a little update on the whole feud I had with Greg Doucette based on the Stallone fake plates issue. It actually kind of ties into the main point of this video, so it's rather fitting. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed, even hit that bell notification so you can see anytime I put out new content. So, with all that out of the way, let's get to the video. The Bosnian War was an international armed conflict that resulted from the breakup of Yugoslavia. Following the Slovenian and Croatian secessions from the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia in 1991, the multi-ethnic Socialist Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which was inhabited by mainly Muslim Bosniaks as well as Orthodox Serbs and Catholic Croats, passed a referendum for independence on February 29, 1992. Political representatives of the Bosnian Serbs boycotted the referendum and rejected its outcome. The Bosnian Serbs mobilized their forces inside Bosnia and Herzegovina in order to secure ethnic Serb territory. Then war soon spread across the country. This war took place in Bosnia and Herzegovina between 1992 and 1995. The most recent estimates suggest that around 100,000 people were killed during the war, over 2.2 million people were displaced, making it the most devastating conflict in Europe since the end of World War II. The war was brought to an end by the General Framework Agreement for Peace in Bosnia and Herzegovina, negotiated at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio between November 1st to 21st of 1995, and it was signed in Paris on December 14th of 1995. So obviously, once the war officially ended, it's not like everybody just all of a sudden got along. The different groups within Bosnia-Herzegovina coexist today, but as you can imagine, it's hard to find symbols that unite them. In happier times, during the 1970s and 1980s, the youth of socialist Yugoslavia had a strange obsession. They were in love with kung fu movies from Hong Kong, and their obsession was fueled by a steady influx of pirated VHS tapes. It should be no surprise then that Bruce Lee became a cult hero, and in doing so, inspired thousands of kids to practice his moves. Which brings us to Veselin Gatalo, the president of Urban Movement Mostar, a group that has received permission from the municipal government to erect a statue.
It's about universal justice, one idea where skills, good intention, vigilance, and honesty can fight against corruption, against bad intentions, against hegemony or dictatorship.
In an interview, Mr. Gatalo said, "That's a hero from our childhood, and it's not a monument to one actor, not a monument to China. That's a monument to the idea of universal justice. One idea having that justice, knowledge, honesty, and good intentions can fight against corruption, evil, and ignorance.
It's a lifetime pursuit of balance and harmony. But with punching and kicking.
And that's the reason we make that monument." Nino Rasputic, one of the urban movement leaders, explained that the idea was to offer a role model for the community. It was thought that everyone loved Bruce Lee, regardless of whether or not they are Croatian, Serbian, or Bosnian.
Everybody likes you. It's impossible not to like you. Impossible!
It wasn't just his ability to kick ass and take names that made Lee an icon to people all around the world. Bruce Lee embraced the philosophies of both Eastern and Western cultures and taught tolerance and inclusion.
But with punching and kicking.
In a time when most people focused on what made everyone different, Lee wanted to unite the world through the beauty of Eastern culture, specifically martial arts. I think we need a little more Bruce Lee these days, especially in America, by the way. But anyway, the statue of Bruce Lee was erected on November 26, 2005 in the city of Mostar in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and is made by sculptor Ivan Filojic. Located in the city park of Zrinski, the life-size statue stands 1.68 meters tall, slightly shorter than Bruce Lee's actual height of 1.72 meters, and is a symbol of solidarity in the ethnically divided city. Before the unveiling, Croat and Bosniak leaders complained that the Bruce Lee statue was a provocation because of his aggressive martial pose. When asked if the statue would face the Eastern Muslim side or the Western Catholic side, Nino Rasputic simply stated, "It will face north." The Chinese ambassador to Bosnia, Li Shuans, told the gathering, "Lee fought for justice, freedom, and reconciliation. I hope his statue will bring you happiness and prosperity." The ceremony was also attended by the German ambassador, whose country's cultural foundation financed the project. One reporter said upon the statue's unveiling, "Building civil society never seemed so weird. Here was a life-size bronze statue of a topless American immigrant paid for by the German government and christened by a Chinese diplomat. erected at the behest of a dysfunctional community of Croats, Serbs, and Muslims. Bruce Lee's daughter, Shannon Lee, wrote about this statue in her book, Be Water, My Friend, which is a great read, by the way. I'll link it in the description below if you guys want to pick it up from Amazon.com. Shannon Lee says, to them, Bruce Lee represented the fight against ethnic division. He was seen as a symbol of someone who bridged cultures and brought people together and made them feel uplifted. She continues, as for my father, he was never specifically trying to do this. In fact, he said of his life and career that he had no idea that what he was practicing would lead to all of this. And I'm quite sure he never foresaw a statue in Bosnia. He just lived his life fully into the higher level of quality and honesty that he could. And we all said, wow, now there is someone real. Today, Mostar in Bosnia is a stunningly beautiful city surrounded by picturesque hills and mountains. The city's centerpiece is a striking 16th century Ottoman bridge that spans the Neretva River. Though if you ever visit, make sure to stop by and say hi to Bruce Lee while you're there. Okay, so at the beginning of the video, I referenced a feud between Greg Doucette and Viking Samurai. His subscribers have completely destroyed my like to dislike ratio, with these videos getting only 40 and 49% likes respectively, whereas my average video gets 95% likes. But anyway, since a Bruce Lee statue was symbolic of unity in Bosnia, I figure if there's a statue that would represent unity between our YouTube channels, it would have to be a hairless cat. Sphinx. And why not make peace and create unity? Because at the end of the day,
what everyone really wants is peace.
Greg Doucette did send me a reply to the reply video I did on him where he called me a moron. In that reply video he said, I just want to say, you're not sure if Jeff Cavalier uses fake weights. Have you not seen the videos? You seem to know a lot about weightlifting. So if you do, and you watch the bar path and how we did the lifts, you would know that there's not any possible way that he was using real weights, considering he's from Earth as far as we know. Now if he's from Krypton, maybe. And I replied to him, I said, only Michael Hearn's from Krypton. By the way, I'm going to do a future video, Natty or Not, on Michael Hearn. If you're kind of into that kind of content, make sure to check out my previous videos. I did a Natty or Not on Jean-Claude Van Damme. I did a Natty or Not on Michael Jai White. And me and Savo from the YouTube channel Savo Central kind of did a Natty or Not on Stallone in the different decades. But it really seems like he started getting on something in the 80s.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
So that's the main video you're going to want to watch. Alright, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed. And let me know in the comments section. Do you want to see more Bruce Lee videos? Do you want me to finally start covering Arnold Schwarzenegger? Or do you want me to just keep giving you more Stallone or Van Damme or Seagal? Let me know in the comments.